saving one of the dimensions, even though every dimension was saved at that point. You didn't create this dimension, it just existed. It's not really a dimension, it's a pathway, it's the nothingness. Because there would be no place in the dimensional cycle picture for it to be put if you were to put it in a specific place. It's just the nothingness. It exists in all of that cycle's nothingness. Isn't that the part of the... Well, yeah. The doppelgangers are in Dimension X now. None of them should be able to access the cycle, nevertheless the multidimensional road. And apparently after this, only heroes, quote-unquote, should exist in this dimension. Dimension of nothingness. Whenever I mean dimension, I mean nothingness, so yeah, because this place kind of goes by weird logic. And I did speak to MM761, you know, at points in the past about this, so I know what I'm talking about. Plus, I made my own document for logic of this place. Of course. If Starman3 was defeated, and there was literally nobody else here aside from maybe you, then there shouldn't be any evil here because nobody is here. Because if this is the nothingness, then we should be flying past this in the sky every time we change a dimension. Some of these people are relevant. Yes, now we've got another whole bunch of counterparts to deal with. But some of the logic behind this is a bit weird, and I'm going to start explaining it in a moment. Yes, we're going to be interested to meet ourselves of this place. And we'll explain those at a later point. No crud, we're looking at it. Yes, welcome to inversion. This is what the Super Mario 64 castle looks like if you invert it. And not the color codes. I'm wondering if they changed just the shadow texture and overlaid themselves over this place just so it would make sense. Because you need to invert the castle. Or another possibility, they could have inverted the textures only. As in, the castle textures were inverted themselves and not, because that would probably make more sense, because they're inside the environment. This looks like a Mario Movie Maker shot. It probably makes more sense that they, inverted the textures. Which, to be honest, in most programs is not very hard to do at all. Yes, there's no painting to enter exactly... Well, I guess it's fine for an explanation. There's no paintings to enter because this isn't a dimension. Dimension is only used as a kind of familiar word. It's not really a dimension. Again, it's the nothingness. Why would there be paintings to enter? The doors are portals to specific parts that lead to the cycle. Yes, if my explanation wasn't relevant, then Starman3's is. This is the bomb on battlefield door, because of the way it's structured. The bomb on battlefield door being the first door in SM64 would colloquially take you to Dimension 1, which is the Blooper Land dimension. Which to them would make sense as Blooper Land. It's generally the Mushroom Kingdom / Blooper Land dimension thing. Either way, it's the first dimension, the normal dimension that people know. the Womp's Fortress door, it being the second world, and the second dimension would take you to the Star World. This does start to make sense until we start turning it into whatever the hell you call weird. Learn to frame cut. Seriously, what the hell was that? Also, yes, apparently the cool mountain room, which is stage 4, normally, takes you to Star Road because he just wanted his own room to be, you know, the 4th dimension because the 4th dimension is my second home, quote unquote, you know. Kind of weirdness. If we're going by sequential order, then it should be that Starman3's door will take you to the Star Road, and this one takes you to the 4th dimension. Also, we have no idea what the other doors lead you to, so... Although, to not follow stage logistics, I guess it's fine, but there is a problem with it, you know? In this dimension? Starman3 does not live in this dimension. He lives in his own dimension, the first dimension. It should be your room in the blooper land dimension, if we even have to call it that, will take you to the 4th dimension here. Because, you know, this is a different place instead of, you know... Jeez. You didn't, actually, so why are you being sarcastic now? You could have had this sarcastic thing back when you made Mario say, "Oh, my radio works so well," in that previous video. Also, we'll just warp back here because we've got to repeat the recording. Yay! Even though we used the warping to each dimension anyway! I mean, it's not really that hard to traverse across the dimensions anyway. There's a free path to any of the dimensions from the first dimension anyway. To the first dimension to the 4th dimension, the first being Blooberland / Mushroom Kingdom. I'm going to call it the first dimension because it makes the most sense. To the first dimension to the 4th dimension, you go by the DBD, the dimensional back travel diamond. To the first dimension to Star Road, you can fly through the invisible wall and end up at the Star Road. To go from the first dimension to the Star World, all you need to do is hit that thing on the castle window and the pipe will appear that will take you there. To be honest, it's just... It would be redundant to enter this place in the first place, considering that from the first dimension you could go to any of the other 3 at any point, at any time you wanted. Coming here would be a complete redundancy because you'd have access to all of the others from really easy locations / you know, methods of going there. Yes, the 5th dimension is where Crownux is from. Yes, and they were standing in the room the whole time, by the way. And they never said anything. Isn't this reminiscent of something? He lied. Why do you need to say come out? They're already here. And once she's going to repeat the recording with the 3 of them standing here, and whenever they come out anyway, they're not going to actually be there. Also, we can't even put different text consistency. Starman3 has Mario's text again. Again? I think it's once. Repeating recordings, because he couldn't film long enough. I mean, surely when you have something as easy to record with as Mario 64 Movie Maker, you can record shots for as long as you want and mask them for as long as you want, you know? Like, even the new Mario 64 Movie Maker has the exact same functions. The old one worked the exact same way. And I know how the old one worked because I test ran it on my old Windows XP computers. So I know how easy it was to film scenes like that. It's not hard to film a longer shot of just crouching. And if not, just do the jitties. You're Starman3's. Because, yes, and that's literally who he is. I'm not sure what the nothingness in between the dimensions needs protecting for. They keep saying they need to protect it, but why do you need to protect it specifically? Starman3 wasn't exactly doing anything here. He just laid it out as his battleground for where he was going to fight Starman3. So why do you need to protect this place in the first place? Unless the properties here affect in between the dimensions, which would then make sense. But it's not explained here, and therefore, the reasons why they're guarding this place at all, one, aren't explained obviously, and two, make no sense. Also, this is a complete lie. The only reason he put 8 counterparts was because he was cherry-picking people who were important to him and only wanted to put them in this video. Because, again, everyone in the dimensions needs to have a proper counterpart in order to even have the dimensions to have balance in the first place. Every person in the first dimension should have a counterpart in the star world, the fourth dimension, and the fifth dimension in order to make sure the dimensions stay in balance and nothing's going to go wonky because one dimension has more counterparts that don't match up with any of the others from the other place. It's like saying in a class there's more boys than girls and there's no girls to counteract however many boys there are. Therefore, it's unbalanced and the world's going to go out of whack because of it. There's a reason why the Dimension X doppelgangers had as many characters as there were actual heroes, because if there wasn't, the world would go out of whack. It's been mentioned several times, so only having 8 counterparts would break the world. Just by existence alone. Because the only reason he says it here is so he can say, I cherry-picked 8 people to have counterparts for this video. Because I only care about those 8 specific people. And then he disabled the ratings for the video. I'm pretty sure the whole multiverse is just completely collapsing because of it. Oh yes, my name is so relevant to you. This isn't Doctor Who, where the name means everything. I was just waiting for the cue in the music. Because he's going to tell you his name, and if you've already figured it out, good for you, Mario. I already knew because I watched this video 5 times in the past. It's you, but it's your 5th dimensional counterpart. Wow, so revolutionary. And then he never appears again. I'm serious, he's never brought up ever again. Yay, I knew it, even though I didn't say anything! Why did he mean more? He just said, wow, here's the biggest secret, my name, it's Starman3's, and then nothing ever, he didn't say anything else. Yes, there's 5 of them here, and they're going to appear one by one so they can have their script lines before they go off the face of the dimension. Yes. because what would be another name for it? If you're protecting the place, then you are a guardian of the place. Why is that? Why does that need to be stated? I'm pretty sure that they would go into a dimension before they even started attacking the nothingness, unless they knew that the nothingness could affect the world dimensions in of themselves, so... End the recording if they have nothing to say! It's called cutting! Do you know what that means? Yeah, he literally does not know how to cut in a video editing. Especially when Sony Vegas has such an easy method as something called a slider, where you can slide it across to where your timeline bar is and cut it out. This is really basic stuff. People who edit in Windows Movie Maker know how to do that kind of thing. Like, people who edit really basic stuff would probably know how to shorten and or increase the length of a video, if they could even increase the length of a video anyway. It would probably just loop. And I couldn't bother to re-record that, apparently. Yes, they're all going to be yellow themed, I guess, even though... Well, the fifth dimension, yes, does have a yellow theme, so I guess that kind of brings the point. It's probably for the same reason that they're never used again, as the Star World counterparts aren't really used all that often. I think if he said best friend, I think we're pretty aware of who you are, and the whole ninja thing, remembering Blooper 40's weird moment where Mario popped out of nowhere out of obligation and he called himself a ninja. We're aware of who this guy is. Starman3's, even without knowledge of that video, Starman3's mentioned, I'll introduce you to my best friend. If you've been paying attention all video, you should be aware of who that is. And who it should be. Mario 521's fifth dimensional counterpart, yeah. Why do you need to include of? It's not one being. We're telling you everything about the multi-dimensional world, wherein it's just a bunch of portals to a bunch of other places that you can already get to anyway, so yeah. Like, seriously, what else did they even explain this video? There's just a bunch of guardians protecting this random dimension-ish thing. There are doors that link to all of the other dimensions in the cycle, including their own. And that's it. The place is also inverted. What else did they need to know about it? Also, apparently everyone else is staring through a portal that makes them aware of this whole thing, so... yeah. Attacked you? Well, that would have been if you were already there anyway. And I'm pretty sure you did this because Starman3 came, so... when did he get to the fifth dimension and kick you guys' butts? We never saw that. But if this is the nothingness, and you're quote-unquote imagining the floor below you, then how could he have trapped you in there? What means did he use? Sure he opened the portal, but what means did he use to trap them? We had no idea of what his powers were. He's just as unpredictable as Starman3 is. He literally could do anything that was used for evil that Starman3 could normally. He literally could just do anything that Starman3 wanted him to do. Makes a great counterpart, doesn't he? Mario 761's, if you're not paying attention. I don't need a big entrance of my name because I'm not important and I was just cherry-picked. You said that already! He held you hostage by what means? Seriously. And they had no power to fight back. Wouldn't Starman5 have the ability to counteract him? No, Starman3 does. Only Starman3. Not even Starman4 or Star Worldman 3. Starman3 could have very basically caught a glimpse of them as he flew through the castle the first time, and when he was punching him the second time through backwards. Everyone's aware they saved the world. Yes, that's the biggest summarization of what you did. Nothing. So yeah, why did Mario say anything about that until now? When all of that was being mentioned several times before by several different people. Yeah, that was just an excuse to make Quintario 751 have the exact same dough line as his counterpart did earlier in the video. I'm Luigi fan's counterpart because I'm important. Pretty sure he's aware of that because he was mumbling it in his sleep. Yes. Mario, don't you remember summoning that? That was one of your, one of the things you mumbled in your sleep, two, one of the things you actually did. Pretty sure you don't have amnesia, so yeah. Right now his, that's Luigi 098, it's 09876. Which I think actually that is reworded. No. LL 09876 is MM's quote-unquote brother in the actual series. So that's his counterpart. I'm not sure if LL is actually made up or not. I think it was mentioned once that Mario 54 actually does have a brother, and that's like kind of the physical representation of him, but I've never been too sure about that. But that's his counterpart. Now you know all the 5 Guardians protecting this dimension, and the rest of the people are probably in the actual 5th dimension protecting that place. Because we function on a hive mind. We already let you know it's already protected. Also, Starman3 and Mario have been 5-4 have been warping all across the room. I like to imagine that they're imagining the floor below their feet, like they're just imagining that they're higher than other people, that there's a wall to them. Because if this is supposed to be the nothingness, then there should be no quote-unquote floor. People are just imagining it for themselves. Tell that to yourself. You've typed the script line about 5 times. Didn't J-Bro say that they were gonna be viewing you through the portal? So shouldn't they be seeing everything that's going on right now? And if we're operating on hive mind logic, shouldn't they be aware of everything that Mario and SM3 know of by now? Shouldn't they be aware of what Starman3 and Mario know? That Starman5 and all of the rest of them exist? So they shouldn't need to go back and tell everybody about it? Seriously, if they're viewing them through a portal, they should be aware of this stuff. And J-Bro mentioned that in a script line in this very video when he was waking Starman3 up. Also, all of those people just vanished, by the way. I'm gonna tell you the other 3 names I didn't show in this video who are also important to me. They're actually Mario, Luigi, and Alberto's 5th dimensional ones. So yeah, they can't be cherry-picked if they're just random irrelevant people in the normal dimension anyway. All of them have counterparts as well. It's just, you know, I have a limit for this video. Because seriously, operating by the logic of this universe, there shouldn't be 8 in comparison to however many characters there are in the normal 4th and Star World dimensions. All of the people in the 5th dimension are watching over all the dimensions. The 5th dimension is in the middle of all of the dimensions anyway, so shouldn't it be able to watch all of them? Mario, Luigi, and Alberto. Of course Alberto's 4th dimensional one's already made. It should have already existed before this point, and we should have, we you know, wouldn't have known his name. By the way, he doesn't appear until Blooper 40, and I'll get to that when I get to that. Yes, that was so relevant. Remember the Starman3 visits the 4th dimension video? Notice the structure of this video? Yeah. And they're never going to come back. Yes, it works. Why wouldn't it have? It's a portal. Cool, and we're never going to go back there. By the way, MM761 wasn't mentioned in this video at all. In the fact that he created it. Not even in the description. They were watching you! J-Bro said that when he woke you up. Why do you need to tell them? How many times are we going to repeat this hero of the 4th dimension thing? Yes, these are who the last 3 were actually counterparts of. Yes, this is completely relevant. That last line, Starman3 did invade it before the 2 came. No crud. How would they have entered the portal? How would the portal have even come to existence in the first place? And how would he even be there to, 1, trap all of them in there, 2, summon the portal to bring the 2 heroes there to fight him? Of course he went there before the others did. Then nothing would, like, how would all of that stuff have happened then? It's the pathways. Shouldn't you have just known anyway, considering that everyone else has counterparts as well? So you should have as well? No, Starman3 didn't save both dimensions. He saved all the dimensions, because Starman3 was threatening the state of every single dimension in this case. He was threatening the state of all of the dimensions because there is only one doppelganger for all of the hero counterparts. Starman4's doppelganger is Starman3. So technically, they were saving all the dimensions. And didn't that get repeated in the very last part of Blooper 40? Yeah, look who's retconning his own series now. And Starman3 technically threatened all the dimensions anyway with this whole I'm going to destroy / take over the world thing. Also Smash appears.
Smashy, go smashy, go smashy, go smashy, go smashy, go smashy.
How different does he sound?
Go smashy.
Also, how relevant is this?
Go smashy.
Seriously, put this in like this random 2-second video that's not relevant to this.
Go smashy, go. Shut up!
Let's put a random meme joke in at the end of the video because this is relatable to the multi-dimensional road. Also, Starman3 didn't care about what these guys had to say because they vanished.
Oh!
Smash isn't Luigi! Credits, not Mario761. Cast! Not all of the people in this video. For one idea. Okay. And that idea isn't even clarified too. For the half-complete texture pack. See you all, have a good day, peace, and I'll see you in Super Mario 64 Blooper 41. See you then! Also, the description says, yes, this is related to Blooper 40, and no, it's not considered Part 11 or Season 5. Well, of course it's not Season 5, but it technically could be a Part 11 anyway. Technically Part 13. And in this video, it will tell you all about the MDR, and there's a lot of secrets which are going to be unfolded, which really don't matter. That's not in the description, but that's my comment on it. Also, I'm pretty sure he added the credit later because of how much everyone was complaining about it. So yeah. See you in the next video. Also, yes, apparently LL0986 actually exists. Excuse my horrid editing.